Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Employee Baltimore Show. I am your host, Marvin McKinstry of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development of the famed and acclaimed Employer Services Division, where I get to be a workforce supervisor and work with an amazing team serving Baltimore businesses to make sure that there's a bridge between the people and the businesses. Y'all, we've been making it happen. We have already, 2 months in advance, eclipsed our annual goals. We are supposed we assign we challenge ourselves to get 2,500 people employed within the course of a fiscal year. Yesterday in our meeting, we have totally eclipsed that. We are well over 2,800 and looking like we might actually hit 3,000 this year. Y'all listen, average wages, we challenge ourselves to make sure that it's at least 1,650 in the percentile per hour per person. Y'all, we are well above $20 an hour in our average wage. Listen, man, we are making it happen for Baltimore. I am so excited. I need you to like, love, and share this broadcast because on today, more opportunities are going to be discussed. We're going to be putting it out there because y'all know here at MOED, we are the plug. I got to send a major shout out and thank you. She's the booker, the producer, the one that makes the magic happen. I'm talking about Miss Katanya Lester behind the scenes, making sure that everything goes well. So all I have to do is sit down and run my mouth. Y'all, I'm excited to be on location today. I know y'all don't see my regular MOED background with the logos and stuff. That's because I'm on location in West Baltimore at the historic Morning Star Baptist Church of Christ. This church has been owned and operated under Black leadership in West Baltimore, 1063 West Fair Street, for 132 years. Y'all, they are prepping for 133rd year anniversary. And I'm talking about, through Jim Crow, through the Depression, so many things. This church has been historic, traditionally under the leadership and probably the name that most people will recognize, the great Reverend Sam Ray, who did so much for the community. I mean, when I was growing up in this neighborhood, this was where you came for the Head Start program, the summer free lunch program, the vacation Bible school, and so many people who have been influential in Baltimore have been members of this great congregation. Y'all, they are still here, still standing, known as the Witnessing Church, now under the leadership of the great Reverend Clarence E. Fowler. Y'all, it is a pleasure to be on site. Sunday was Children's Day, and this beautiful background behind me with everybody knows the program, knows the poem Butterflies is behind me. So that's what we're going with today, y'all. And listen, I'm so excited about today's show. We have HUMANIM with us today. HUMANIM is a staple in Baltimore. Y'all, I've been in this thing maybe a little long because I remember when HUMANIM was coming to Baltimore. HUMANIM has been a partner of ours on some major projects. They're in the heart of East Baltimore and have been doing great work. I mean, listen, HUMANIM is one of our staple partners, y'all, and I'm excited to talk to two of my favorite people, actually. Winnie is one, and I'm talking to Mr. Silver, all right? And we're going to be talking to London De Richelieu. I think I got it right. She is the mayor's director of LGBTQ affairs, and she's also the director of the LGBTQ commission, y'all. So today is going to be a powerful show. Like, love, and share this broadcast. Get everybody on here. We want to kick it off by saying Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. This is the last opportunity that we're going to get to say it. If you on the broadcast, put Happy Father's Day in the comments for me and all of the other fathers that may be watching. Sunday, June 18th is going to be the day to celebrate the men. I'm challenging all of y'all to step it up this year. I went and looked at the second most important holiday on the list. They got a whole list of holidays. Is Mother's Day. It's Christmas and Mother's Day. And when I say important, I'm talking about the money getters. They get the most money on Christmas and Mother's Day. Black Friday don't count because that's not included because it's not a holiday. Christmas and Mother's Day. Guess when Father's Day is? 20th on the list. Y'all got to do better. Y'all go buy diamonds on Mother's Day and go to the Fruit of the Loom aisle at Walmart on Father's Day. But listen, I'm appreciative for every gift. But let's salute and celebrate all of the fathers who are making sure that they're present and doing what they're supposed to do as men in the lives of their children. Ephraim Juneteenth celebration, y'all. It's gonna be on. They are bringing the Isley brothers. Ron Isley is the reason I got this great bid, y'all. They was on Versus, and he broke the internet. I said, boy, I'm gonna keep this because boy, the ladies went crazy when they seen Ron with this great bid. I hope I'm doing it well. I hope I'm doing it right. All right, Ron Isley, the Isley brothers on Sunday. Ty Dollars is the headliner on Saturday, y'all. Listen, they taking it back. They got Kid Capri and DJ Spinderella, Tamar Braxton, Eric Roberson, who is kind of local. Listen, now he's not local, but he's from the Baltimore DMV area. Y'all come on out. Eric Bellinger. They have a lineup that is awesome. Of course, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is going to be in the house. We'll be right on Community Road just like last year, and your boy will be out there. So make sure you come through and see me and see what we got popping. I need everybody to come out to the AFRAM, y'all. Don't just come to celebrate. Come to get all that good information as you walk through Community Road. Baltimore Pride, we've been shouting it out. This coming Saturday, June the 17th through the 25th, are going to be Pride celebrations all across Baltimore. You're going to hear a lot more about it with our guests today. We want to make sure that everybody comes out and be a part of the celebration. Our Now Hiring Job Board, the most up-to-date and accurate information as it pertains to hiring businesses that are looking for employees in the Baltimore DMV area, because it's way outside of just the Baltimore City area, but in the region, is on the Now Hiring Job Board. And every job on there is attached to what's called a business service representative, which is somebody that is connected to that job that's going to give you direct service. Listen, y'all, if you want to cut through the red tape, don't go to monster.com. Indeed is cool, I guess. But when you come to the Now Hiring Job Board, you're going to be connected to a professional who is ready, willing, and able to get you connected in the most efficient and effective way. We are at moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board. That's again, moed.baltimorecity.gov/job board. Come get your new job. All right, y'all, the Spring Up Community Resource Fair is going to be happening at our Great Eastside Career Center. Well, y'all, I can't even say it's at the center because it's going to be out in the community partnering with BoCheck. And y'all, listen, when you come out on Friday, June the 16th, which is tomorrow, to 3001 East Madison Street, you're going to see it all right there in the community, y'all, outside of the walls of the building and all that good stuff. MOED Youth Services, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Safety and Engagement, Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs, BoCheck. His struggle, no struggle, no success. I'm sorry, y'all. This is not working for me. All right, Baltimore City Community Affairs, all coming together, y'all. They're all coming together, and it's going to be a great day of resources. City Ranch will have the horses out for the children and much, much more. The grill going to be burning, music going to be blasting. So make sure y'all come through. That's going to be tomorrow, Friday, June 16, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I might slide through there, but I ain't making no promises. All right, y'all, Home Chef is coming back to Baltimore. Y'all, listen, we had a great hiring event with them. Many people got jobs. And listen, y'all, that wasn't even the jobs that they were there for. I believe the list turned out to be about maybe 25, 30 people, but they're coming back because the need is far greater. So on June the 20th, they are going to be back at the Middle Branch Fitness and Wellness Center, again, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's going to be interviews and offers made on the spot. You see that QR code on there? Anywhere you see this flyer, make sure you scan that QR code and pre-register. You can actually go and do your application before you even get there, so that when you get there, you can be interviewed and potentially leave with your offer on the spot. That's going to be on Tuesday, June the 20th, 2023, from 10 a.m. Okay, to 4:30 p.m. Not our normal 2 p.m. So make sure that you get plugged in. All right, y'all. All right. I'm telling you, man, this is where they turn pain into passion. Talking about my good friend and brother, Mr. Marty McNair, partnering with Morgan State University, and he's bringing the Jordan McNair Foundation Baltimore Citywide Football Clinic to Morgan State University. They're making it more local. Used to be out at McDonough. Now it's more centralized. Listen, y'all, myself and others are willing to sponsor children who may not be able to pay the $25 registration fee. The $25 registration fee is just to offset some minor costs, but don't let that stop you. I've committed to sponsoring up to 4 young people. If you're on here and you can sponsor, I want to see more sponsors. Use code TJMF7970 to waive the registration fee because it's really not about money. But y'all need to make sure that you come out and you're participating. This is not your typical football camp. This is going to be about how we keep our children playing safely. Y'all know the story of the tragedy that happened to Jordan McNair, and this family has literally rebounded to go across the country to make sure that what happened to Jordan never happens to another kid. So if you got your child out there and your child is loving playing sports, specifically football, even though they say don't stop at football, even male, female, you name it, come out to this camp and get the information on how you keep your child playing safely. That's going to be the Jordan McNair Foundation Baltimore Citywide Football Clinic. All right, y'all, it's time to get to what you came to hear. Make sure if you have not already that you like, love, and share this broadcast. Get people on here who are looking for opportunities. I got first up coming to the stage all the way from right here in East Baltimore, Maryland. Again, I said it before, I'm going to be chopping it up with 2 of my favorite people. 2 people who I've had the pleasure of work with from this great organization that I've had the ability to work with, and we've done a lot of good work around training people, employing people. I'm talking about the one and only HUMANIM. So I want to welcome right now Miss Winnie Alexander, the Workforce Development Training Manager, and Mr. My Brother, who in the trenches out the streets with me, Mr. Ricky Silva, the Family Support Services Coach. Welcome to the Employ Baltimore Show. Thank y'all for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having us today, Marvin.
Thank you.
Hoping that you got good reception because we want you to see, we want to hear your voice. And sometimes moving through them cell phone towers, it can get a little rough. So why don't you kick us off, Winnie? Tell us a little bit about you and your role at HUMANIM.
Can you hear Winnie? Can you tell them about
I'm sorry.
I said,
absolutely.
You and your role at HUMANIM.
Yeah, so I am the Workforce Development Training Manager. I've been with HUMANIM now for 7 years. I was one of the founding members of the Administrative Assistant Training that we're here to talk about. So I'm very excited to be on Employ Baltimore.
When I was at the Youth Opportunity Center,
I'll throw it over to you, Ricky.
When I was at the Youth Opportunity Center, that training was one of my absolute favorites because it was a great way to get people who were interested started. Now we're going to kick it over to my man, Mr. Ricky Silva, my brother, the guy that I know is all about Baltimore and helping people. Ricky, tell them a little bit about yourself and your role at HUMANIM.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ricky Silva. I'm the Family Support Services Coach with HUMANIM. And as Marvin said, I'm one of the people who is out there in the trenches as well. And we also do the wraparound services. And what wraparound services mean is that while we're doing the Administrative Assistant Career Training class and Winnie is giving them some great information, I'm the person that's helping them to remove any barriers to employment. And we can go into a little more detail a little later about what those barriers entail. But just think of anything that would stop a person from getting a job or being ready to work. That's the thing that I help them to remove. So I'm happy to be here on this podcast as well. Thank you, Marvin.
Well, that's really important. But first of all, start us off by telling us who would be a good fit for this opportunity.
Okay, that's great. So this opportunity started in 2016 out of the Freddie Gray unrest. So the optimum person that they were looking for and targeting for this particular grant, which came from EARN, which is the Maryland Department of Labor's grant, are people who are 18 to 40, who have barriers to employment, who live in economically challenged neighborhoods, and have a little bit of background with administrative, but you don't have to have that because this is a training class that we would train you. But we are looking for people who have that particular piece. You want to have some Microsoft Office, and the rest we explain as you do the application. But that 18 to 40 range and people with economically challenged barriers to employment is our main source that we're looking for.
Is there anything that a person should prepare themselves with to make sure that they can have that information available to you? Is it based on zip code, ID? Do it require pay stubs? What should a person be prepared with so that they can make sure they reach that eligibility requirement?
Sure. The eligibility, you have to be a Baltimore City or Baltimore County resident. Okay, it started out as you'll see when we do our presentations that we talk about West Side, but you don't have to live on the West Side because we have expanded to the entire city, the entire county. You want to have the ability to pass a assessment, which tests an eighth grade math and a 10th grade reading. And that's through either the CASA or the TAPE testing, just a normal testing of your basic skills for reading and math. A background with criminal background is check is also consistent with our anchors. And I think Winnie can talk a little bit more about our anchor partners, but our anchor partners do require a clean background. They do require the passing of the eighth grade math and 10th grade reading. And you want to have some background with Microsoft Office, because you can imagine being an administrative role. You're constantly on a computer. You're on a computer daily. You're asking to send out emails. You've been asked to create files. Documents. You're asked to interpret documents. So you want to have a basic skills of Microsoft Office. Those are the very important prerequisites.
Wendy, I get excited when I hear that term anchor partners because I know what it means. Can you break down, open up, and explain to our audience what the anchor partners are and how that is a jewel when you talk about this kind of training?
Absolutely. So our anchor partners are most of the major employers in Baltimore City, such as Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Health System, Mercy, Morgan, Towson, University of Maryland, Baltimore, University of Maryland Medical Center in Baltimore County. Shout out to University of Maryland, Baltimore and the Community Engagement Center. They have allowed us to actually be on site at their Community Engagement Center to have the class. So, and this will be our fourth time actually having the class at the Community Engagement Center. So we are very grateful for all of our partners. Morgan is another one, Coppin is another one. Hopefully I'm not missing any that I've called out. We do have a couple of new partners. We have Vehicles for Change is one, and I think Ricky will probably, any that I miss, he'll fill you in. But we're very fortunate for our partners. We actually partner with them for employment. So once the students go through the 9 weeks of training, then they are actually, the partners actually interact with the students throughout the training. So they always want to know how well are the students doing? Do they participate? Who's like the strongest in the class? Who might need a little bit more help? Things like that. So what is really, really great is that our partners work with us and work with the students. And Towson actually has created a pipeline for our students to go through. So they can actually a contingent, and with that go into a full-time position. So we're very grateful for all of our anchor partners and their support.
Winnie, I'm so excited to hear that. We are literally right now about 1 block away from the Community Engagement Center.
Oh, great.
Tyrone Roper is my guy. Listen, y'all, it's a beautiful facility.
Yes.
Inside the old BBH building is doing great work in West Baltimore. So I'm saying all that to say it's accessible. It's about a block away from Martin Luther King Boulevard. There's so many buses and other things that can get you there. Do not miss this opportunity. Ricky, can you, when we talking about the employment opportunities and things of that nature, I want to make sure that we put as many of the prerequisites. Does it require a person to have a high school diploma, or is there anything else? Can y'all give us the requirements for enrollment that would make somebody successful?
Sure. Okay, that's a good point. I'll break them down. So the first thing you need to have, like I said, you need to be a resident of Baltimore City, Baltimore County. You do have to have a high school diploma. You do have to have you do have to pass the assessment for the math and reading. You do have to have a clean background, which is consistent with our anchor partners. You do have to have information or skills and a background with Microsoft Office. And you do need to have the ability to participate in the classroom Monday through Friday from 9 to 3. That's very important because this is an in-person training. And as you said, it's at the Community Engagement Center. If someone has difficulty getting there, want to wrap around services that we do provide, we will provide transportation in the form of a bus pass that will be able to get you there. So those are the major things that we need for you to have before you apply. And of course, the age is is a targeted age out of the Freddie Gray unrest. So that 18 to 40 is very important. Every time we get folks who come in and they're a little older and they say, well, why can't I apply? And I let them know about the grant. But what I also do, Marvin, is that I turn them right around and I give them the direction to come to MOAD. And I let them know that MOAD has great programs for any people of any age. Anything that's similar to this, they can have. I think in the past we've had the 55 plus, and I tell them that MOAD is definitely the best resource that they can come to find exactly what they're looking for that mirrors this, and they don't have to feel so bad because they aren't able to do this class because of the grants requirements.
Winnie, being one of the founders of this program, knowing what God placed in your heart and on your mind when you were developing this program, speak to the people and tell them exactly, say like if you had a room full of folks right now that was interested in this training, what would you tell them specifically from your heart concerning this opportunity? Maybe it be how they should prepare, or what they should, just give them a spiel that comes directly from being one of the founding members of this program.
Absolutely. Thank you. So what I would say to anyone who is interested, if you are ready to literally change your life, and I mean, if you are serious about changing your life, this is the training that you should take. It's very different, not like any other training that you have ever taken, specifically in the city of Baltimore or anywhere else. And all of our graduates can speak to that. There is a place during our training where the previous graduates from any class will come back and will speak to the current class. And I love that because no matter what class they were in, what they say is the same thing each and every time. If you want to change your life and you are ready, because you got to be ready, this is the training that you should take.
Awesome. Ricky, give us some closing remarks about this opportunity and just how people should be getting connected to the opportunity. What should people be doing right now if they're really interested?
People should go to humanim.org and they should click on what we do. Under what we do, they'll see training and they'll see 2 applications for our administrative assistant career training class. It's important that I say 2, but I emphasize that please click on the one for Baltimore City or Baltimore, because we do this in Harford County and I'm the person who'll be calling you. I'm the person who scrubs the list, but I'm always switching people back and forth, because I'll get somebody from Edgewood who's applied in Baltimore and somebody from Baltimore who's applying Harford County as well. So it's important, again, I'll reiterate that you go to the website, humanim.org, that's HUMANIM, that's HUMANIM, which is how we got our name. They asked our first clients that we started getting, which we were helping adults with brain injuries. And we asked them, what should we name ourselves? And the person says, I am human. So that's where Humanim comes from. So you go to humanim.org, click on what we do, click on career training, and you'll see both of the applications. You click on the application. Please complete the entire application. Once you complete the application, you'll be hearing from me, and I'll tell you next steps after that.
Miss Winnie Alexander, I'm honored today to be able to talk to you, founding member of this program that I have been blessed to sit through during my time as the business service rep at the Youth Opportunity Program. It's something special about somebody who purposes in their heart to create something that's never existed before. And from 2016 to now, the rich legacy of people whose lives have been impacted and changed through this program, it just makes me honored to be able to meet you and to have you on to be able to talk to you about it today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Marvin. I so appreciate those words. Thank you. My pleasure.
Brother, been knowing you for a long time. I know your heart and your passion for this city, man. And to know that you're sitting there and you're the person that's making sure that there are no barriers that's going to keep somebody from this opportunity. I know that they are in good hands, man. Listen, HUMANIM, y'all are a godsend to every human that's going to get through this program. Ricky, thank you so much for your service. And thank you and Miss Winnie Alexander for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marvin. I appreciate you having us on the show.
Absolutely.
I'll be. Hey, listen, y'all. people that I get the chance to interview, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Y'all know who I am. Y'all know I'm the preacher, the pastor. Let me center myself for the producer say something. I'm the preacher, the pastor. I get welled up, like I feel the power of God on me when I'm talking to some people, because I know what it has been, how much of a blessing it has been. This is God's work when you doing this kind of thing, whether you in MOED, whether you in Humanum, it is work that is ordained by God. And I'm telling you, man, just sitting here and recalling in my own mind the people that I personally have referred that have literally got their opportunity to do something different or something better because of this program just gets me excited to know that it's still going and that there's going to be another crop of people that's able to get that opportunity. So y'all, please make sure that if you're interested in a new career, and that career, because remember what they said, the anchor partners means that there's a job on the other end of the training. Just be that person that show up every day on time, get all of the instruction. That's the only way you can expect to get the full result and be a standout, because they want to know who was the best of the best in the class. And then you get those opportunities with those great anchor partners. Again, you can learn more about this program at humanum.org, and make sure when you go and click on the program, you pick Baltimore City and not Harford County, so that my man Ricky Silver can make sure that you're at the head of the class. Thank you again, Humanum, for being with us today. And now, y'all, it's time to get to our next interview. This is another great interview. I have had the awesome privilege of working with London. She's London to me, right? When you talk about amazingly passionate, knowledgeable, and literally a connector in Baltimore, far and beyond the LGBTQ community, she is just a dope resource for anybody that's interested in doing something to help themselves. But by proper title, she is the director of the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs and the executive director of the LGBTQ Commission. It is my honor and pleasure, and I'm excited to do this interview with her because, listen, y'all are going to hear some great things come out that's happening in Baltimore. I'm talking about the one and only Miss London Smith de Richelieu. I killed that.
Hello, how are you?
Y'all
How are
know
you
I
doing today,
I put my
Marvin?
French Pepe Le Pew accent on. I told him when I was young, Pepe Le Pew was one of my favorite characters on the cartoon, and he smelled real bad, but he was so suave with his French. So did I get it right, London?
You were close. It's you were close. You were close. It's de Richelieu.
You gotta practice that, de Richelieu.
Yeah, you know, it's a tongue
When
twister. It's
you
also
when
it's a
you from over
conversation
west,
piece.
because I'm from over west. When you're from over west, you gotta practice that. So I'm gonna practice it. We're gonna get it right. But London, thank you for being with us today. We're excited to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. You know, the name is a conversation piece. I love my name because it always gets things started. It lets people, you know, explore their linguistics and their, you know, abilities to use language and stuff. And while we're talking about language, you know, my office is a space that explores the use of language, like with terms like LGBTQ, you know, and a lot of times people not knowing how to properly identify and to define themselves. So, you know, my name is one of those spaces.
Well, one of the things about this, and you know, I make no bones about it. People know who I am and what I stand for. And there's not one person that's in the Baltimore region should not be able to go anywhere and get help and services, things that they need. And that is fully encompassing of everybody. And the Mayor's Office of Employment Development has a direct focus to make sure that there's no Baltimorean or nobody in the Baltimore region looking for opportunities that's left behind. But in order to do this work effectively, we have to be educated and informed. Can you tell us a little bit more about the office, and outside from just the linguistics, some of the great things that you guys do to make sure that people have not only have opportunity, but people who want to serve know how to serve properly without.
Yeah, so well, I can just give you some background. Our office was by first created by executive order in 2018 by Catherine Pugh. Originally, it was our office was created into the commission. Well, that was before we were in office. And then in 2021, Mayor Brandon Scott signed legislation that created our office and funded our office and the works that our office would do. And being that he is the equity mayor, it's about creating an equitable atmosphere and an equitable environment for our residents and our visitors here in Baltimore. We want to make sure that we're uplifting all those that live here, right? We want to make sure that we are celebrating everyone in their identities and how they show up. And so that's what our office is here to do. I am also the executive director of the commission, and our commission is here to support the duties of the mayor's office of LGBTQ affairs, in which I'm the director, to advise the mayor, the city council, city agencies about issues concerning and affecting LGBTQ plus community. We recommend policies, legislation. We bring LGBTQ plus communities and the larger Baltimore community together through long range projects. We ensure that the city agencies fairly and equitably, that's the key word, equitably. People don't understand what equity is. And equity is, we can all get on the bus, right? Everyone can get on the bus, but everyone's not going to get off at the same stop. You have to stop at the corner of Edmondson. You got to stop on Edmondson for some. You might have to stop down on Franklin for others, but you have to stop at different places. And equity is making sure that we are tailoring services to fit individual needs or community needs, specific community needs. Baltimore, all the members that are part of they'll be a part of the commission are selected from the Baltimore LGBTQ community and the allies, and they reflect the diversity in the community, including orientation, gender, disability, race, age, socioeconomic status, and so that's the commission alone. And so my office itself, who is guided by that work, we do with how we deal specifically with how the city delivers its services, right? We want to make sure that our policies and best practices are in place, making sure that we're protecting our LGBTQ plus employees here in Baltimore and that work for Baltimore and throughout the city, not just the people that work for the city. We want to make sure that our laws and policies and protections are uplifted. Recently, our office worked with Councilman Christopher Burnett to pass a new expansion to what's called our Article 4. And so Article 4 in Baltimore, so if anyone ever has any complaints, and just so people can understand, when you are filing a civil rights complaint here in Baltimore, you can file with Baltimore, like you can file, of course, with EEOC federally, you can file with the Maryland Commission, but you can also file with Baltimore City's Office of Civil Rights and their Community Relations Commission. So that's how you can file your complaints here in Baltimore City. And so under Article 4, which is community relations, and we just created a new expansion that will be signed into law. It just passed City Council that includes HIV and AIDS protections, as well as pronoun and chosen name protections in certain circumstances, as well as the signage about these protections to be in businesses and places, and so people can understand their rights, and that you're able to file through the Office of Civil Rights. So when you have it during Pride this year, we're going to have some handouts for people to let people know, because people, unfortunately, 46% of people that are part of LGBTQ community have been affected, in the workplace by discrimination. So we want to make sure that people could know how to file complaints on discrimination and where to be able to do it. So that's one of the policies that we recently passed. Another thing is I was able to testify on the Trans Health Equity Bill that has now provided, better health outcomes for trans and non-binary community. By giving them access to care. It's like we can't leave anybody behind in this, and when we're talking about health, it's about well-being, right? It's around the total person. It's around, people don't want to just survive. People want to thrive. And that means being able to get up, go to work, own things, and be able to do it and just be in your authentic self. And so we are here to uplift that and to protect those Baltimoreans by doing so.
In my role in various places where I've had the opportunity to serve, I've been properly prepared and educated. And one of the things that I learned about that education, because we talk about equity and opportunity, but one of the things that people don't realize is how easily it is to re-traumatize somebody who's coming to you for help because of some things that they may have already experienced in their families and in religious spaces and other places. And, being in a service component, we need to be properly educated. Talk to us about the trauma aspect, because it's great to talk about opportunity and, we drop those buzzwords and all that sort of thing. But there is a way to easily offend or to harm somebody that's really coming to you for help if you're not educated.
Yeah, like, and so like, and that's when you get into the idea, we start talking about pronouns and like microaggressions and all these things, right? These are ways that you know, a lot of times. So what my office does is that we provide for city agencies cultural competency training, and to make sure that we are addressing issues like microaggressions. We're teaching people about like gender 101. I'm past 101s. I'm at 102s because, like you said, Marvin, you don't want to re-traumatize people, right? It's about the re-traumatization piece. You know, that's like, let's just look at the jails, for instance, right? You have some people and you place them in a correctional facility. Let's just say, you know, we have consent decree that protects how the police transport our constituents and they're going to jail, right? So if, you know, we have, you know, policy 317, and we have, you know, impartial policing policies, right? Now, let's just say you are, you know, a person's under arrest and they're a trans person, and, you know, that person is, you know, and you don't know. There are systematic barriers that put marginalized people, you know, in the line of fire for things that they would otherwise not be in line of fire for, right? If they did not have to deal with, you know, these systematic barriers and these oppressions, right? It's, instead of us fixing the things that are under the sink, a lot of times we don't do that, right? We just turn off the faucet. We don't go under the sink and fix the underlying causes and underlying issues. And so people are trying to survive, right? So that person is, let's just say, doing survival sex work. Okay, they're outside, they're arrested, and the police treats them with respect. You know, they say, hi, you know, what is your name, or what is your, you know, what is your chosen name? What are your proper pronouns? You don't want to further re-traumatize the person. So that's just a general courtesy. You know, empathy that's all a part of the human experience. These are things that should not have to be taught. We should understand in our human experience how to have empathy for others and another person's humanity. But unfortunately, some don't have that capacity. So we're here to help build that capacity. And so once that person, you know, gets that treatment, and then you take them off to a facility, let's just say a correctional facility, and they're dropped there, and then the person was treated with respect and dignity beforehand, but you get them there, and now this person goes from being a she and a her to now a he, and disrespected, and their pronouns change, and the chosen name is changed, and now they're being called something that they don't want to be recognized as. That person, you know, that ups the ante for the recidivism rate, right? Because a person is not being treated well in those spaces. You're not answering to their trauma, right? You're not trauma informed. You're not dealing with their trauma. You're not dealing with their pain. And so therefore that person that's what increases the recidivism rate. And the person is able to easily offend again because they're just looking to survive, right? And they don't understand their humanity. They don't understand like self-actualization. And so, yeah, I definitely think that there has to be uniformity across systems when we come to doing cultural competency. You can't be treated in one place one way, and then you get to the next place and you're treated another way. It has to be uniform across all systems, and that's what our office is here to do.
But that's what I get excited about, because in conversation with my director, pretty much as the person that is the liaison to take and make sure that MOED services are informed and in the right spaces, she was passionate about making sure that the connections were made and that they were strong, because the only thing that should matter in Baltimore is that you're alive, you're capable, and that you are employable. And nothing else should matter when it comes down to the services that we're providing in the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. Thank you for that good information. But I do want you to talk to us about some of the things that are happening around Baltimore to support Baltimore Pride.
Yeah, so one of the great things that we have going on right now, if you come down to City Hall, we're actually hosting an exhibition with the support of our co-curator here, Alicia Page, who's wonderfully helped me to put this amazing work of over 25 queer artists in the city of Baltimore, the artists for sale. And so again, we could talk about the equity piece and about making sure that we put money in people's hands, and we're making sure we're feeding people. So the art is for sale. It is at City Hall. You can come down right now and see the art. You can email my office if you need to be, if you would like to have a tour and maybe an experience, please, don't hesitate to email our office, and one of our staffers will try to work with you, and our curator will all work with you to make sure you can see the exhibit. The other thing is that, so this weekend, or actually this weekend coming up at First Presbyterian, there will be a showing of the original AIDS quilt. And so I think it's first in Franklin. There will be a showing of the AIDS quilt, and the next week, so after the night, so from the 19th until, so you have the 17th, but actually from like, technically it's really the 19th through the 25th, but yeah, 19th through the 25th is Baltimore Pride. And if anyone doesn't know, Baltimore City, we had one of the first prides in the nation. People don't know that, but we are a first. We're a first for a lot of things. Baltimore City is actually one of the first cities to protect sexual orientation and gender identity in its city ordinances. People don't know that. We're one of the first cities to protect our employees when it comes to affirming healthcare. People don't know that. And we have a history of queer artists and mind and innovators and shakers that have come out of the city of Baltimore. But on the 24th is the Baltimore Pride Parade, and on the 25th is Pride in the Park. And on that day, there is actually a piece called Elder Pride. And so on Elder Pride, we want to uplift our elders and give them respect and give them space. And without them, we stand on their shoulders. And so, that day we want to celebrate them. There's another event on June the 22nd at the Reginald Lewis Museum, which is a scholars and poet event at the Reginald Lewis Museum. There is an event tomorrow that is hosted by the Pride Center, and it's a fundraising gala. I do not have all the information for that event, but if you check their website, their Baltimore Pride website, you could get a lot more information about those things. It's a lot going on throughout the city, and I am so excited to be a part of it, excited to see these things, to be here to witness them, right? Because there was a time when these things would not be happening. There was a time when people would not be welcoming LGBTQ people to a space to talk. And it's just an uplifting time, and I'm excited to be here in this particular time.
So if you want to learn more about the events, you can go to www.baltimorepride.org. But London, there's one other thing I want you to touch on. If in fact, organization, a service provider, a business, or anybody would like to connect with you in your office to make sure that their desire to support the LGBTQ community is informed, and that they are aware of where they can be present to people in the LGBTQ community, whether they want to hire them or whatever, how can they connect with you to make sure that they are informed and a safe space?
Sure. Well, our office number here is 410-545-6225. 410-545-6225. My email is my name. So if you're looking at this, it's my name, London, but a dot, smithjurichelia@baltimorecity.gov. Again, it's london.smithjurichelia@baltimorecity.gov. We also have social media pages. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we were on Twitter, but we have not been active on our Twitter, but it's Balti LGBTQ. So BALTI LGBTQ is our Instagram as well as our Facebook name. You can also type in Baltimore Office of LGBTQ Affairs on Facebook, and you'll see us on there. We regularly post and we put up events, and you can. Oh, thank you. There we go.
She's a mean producer. I'm
trying.
trying.
Thank you. And then listen, and you can also, my IG is London_Rich, LONDYN_Rich. Sometimes people feel more comfortable like responding to my IG instead of like the actual page's IG, because I don't know if they feel like the government is gonna. I don't know, but when people have personal issues that are going on, sometimes they feel more comfortable responding to me on my personal IG. I've noticed that, and that's how I've done a lot more about my outreach, is through sometimes my personal IG. I guess people feel more comfortable or it's more personable. And again, we bring up the trauma piece and privacy, and people just feel a little bit more at ease doing it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I have so much more of a personal social media to be able to push a lot of the flyers and things that we have when it comes down to our job fairs. London, I thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you for the great information that you always continue to share. We have built a colleague relationship of trust where you are taking me some places because you trust me, and I'm going to them places because I trust you. And y'all, it's all about making sure that everybody in the Baltimore region that desires an opportunity has a fair shake at that opportunity. And that only happens by making sure that information and education happens for all. London, thank you so much for who you are and for the great things that you're doing to bridge all of the gaps in and around the Baltimore community. And I look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here.
All right. Have a good afternoon. All right, y'all. Y'all heard it. Today was a live show. We had a whole bunch of good information. Humanum offering there. Listen, y'all, it is now something that's been going on for about 6 or 7 years. It's well known. It's helping a lot of people. So if you're looking for office/administrative assistant/clerical type of training that will lead to a job, you need to make sure that you connect with Humanum. They are signing people up right now. It's going to be happening right in Central West Baltimore, about 5 shakes from downtown Baltimore. It's easy to get to. And y'all, the anchor partnerships that they have that are prepared to hire people that complete this training is out of this world. Then you heard from London de Richelieu. I think I got it right. I think I did it better that time. She ain't here to tell me, but I think I did it better that time about all of the great things that's going to be happening. And if in fact you want to make sure that your business or organization is in a fence-free place where people can come and get help in real time without being re-traumatized or hindered, make sure that you call 410-545-6225 or email london.smith-de-richelieu@baltimorecity.gov. That is to connect with the Mayor's Office of LGBTQ Affairs, also the Executive Director of the Commission on LGBTQ Affairs here in Baltimore. Baltimore, we love you. We're going to continue to come to you every Thursday at 2 p.m. Listen, gotta thank my producer, Ms. Katanya Lester, but I always say in closing, if you're looking for an opportunity in Baltimore, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development is looking for you with a focus on economic justice. We have and will continue to build a workforce system that actually works. See you next Thursday.